Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all my true crimers, scary story lovers, and those who just like the dark side of life. I haven't been doing a lot of the true crime because honestly, I like the scary stories. I was thinking about changing my name. So now that I have sort of a place to, it is only by 3:30 in the morning. My dogs have been keeping me up all night, so I figure why not do ASMR? Because ASMR is supposed to help you sleep, right? Well, how about a scary story? Some Reddit stories. Now, these are not my own Reddit stories, and of course, just like always, if you don't want me reading your Reddit stories, just email me at alltruecrimeasmr@gmail.com. Sit back and enjoy this very early morning account of some very scary stories. These are Rules of Horror, which happen to be my favorite, actually. I just love them so much. And yes, it's going to be in a whispered format, not for those of the faint of heart or any of those under the age of 14 is my recommendation. And if I fall asleep while I'm reading these, well, then I've done myself a favor. But here we go. This is by xxxxxreals. And there will be lots of mouth sounds because I haven't done a true ASMR in a while. And you can find this on RulesHorror on Reddit. And this is called First Time at Graveyard Duty. Huh? Yes, I nodded with an apprehensive smile, walking alongside with my coworker. Nervously, I continued, fiddling with my idea as we make our way towards my supposed desk. It has been 3 months since I started working as a clerk at this shift at the hospital nearby, and today was my first ever graveyard shift. Graveyard shift, huh? Well, graveyard shifts can be very interesting. I never did the graveyard shifts, but this is this person's first time. So, as ridiculous as it was that non-medical staff also had to put up with this kind of schedule. The pay was good enough to get me by with the bills, so I wouldn't complain as much. Besides, what's a better working environment in a jam-packed hospital like this one if not by a calm night duty once in a while? I've had my fair share of experiences with a handful of rude patients and fellow clerks during the day, so some peace and quiet would be really nice without resorting to quitting so soon. Nervous and chuckled. At least I remember her name was Anne. With the number of staff our department has, it was sometimes inevitable that I would forget somebody's name or a few faces. Yes, I mean, I have a little idea about what to do during these times after all. That's right. That's right. That's right. Morning duties typically consisted of handling the patients, inquiries, paperwork, typing test results, and then just getting buried into more paperwork. Buried into more paperwork. Kind of funny, if you ask me. Hopefully, the shift was not as stressful as the day shift. Turning around a corner, she glanced back. Don't worry. It's mostly answering late-night phone calls from the other departments, doing the day's reports. And she paused as we approached what looked like a large counter in the middle of a deserted hallway. Basically, staying up late just to entertain some of the patients' stupid questions. Sounds lovely. You bet, she said, briefly flashing me a playful gaze. A playful gaze that she passed over to me. It kind of gave me a chill, eerie feeling when she did so. I'm not sure why. She paused again, holding up a piece of paper right in front of my face. Right in front of my face. Right in front of my face. She held up a piece of paper. She proceeded to ask, "Oh, by the way, are you skeptical at all?" About what exactly? About what? Oh, I don't know. Spirits. Now, why would she ask such a silly question like that? She turned and looked again and said, the supernatural. The supernatural. I stared at the ceiling in contemplation before finally settling in with an answer. Well, I actually believe in them. Although I've never experienced something paranormal in my entire life. We're in a hospital, so I'm pretty sure there's bound to be some here. I also heard a few stories from the others. the others, Anne said, and laid out on the desk for the world to see. And there I could make out typings of what looked like rules. Do you have a problem following rules? Because there's a whole bunch of them, she said. I looked at her curiously and said, and these are? Oh, don't worry. Just a little something to help you survive the graveyard shift. She chirped and waited for me to start with my list. Thinking that there was no harm in doing so, my eyes curiously, and carefully trailed at each one. Number one. Patients on this floor are rather ill-tempered, so we highly advise to keep your voices down. Absolutely no loud conversations, if any sort, and no screaming. No screaming. None, okay? You wouldn't want to disturb mostly, especially the old crazy lady from across the hall, would you? I hummed in approval, mumbling, I can't argue with that. I'd probably go crazy too if I couldn't get some good night's sleep. It's like me since I moved into this house. Anne gave me an encouraging pat on the back. Now you know what you're getting into. It's good for a reason, anyway. You know, it took me a while to process what she was even saying. Number two, I looked again closely, my eyes a little blurry because of the first one about the crazy lady and getting sleep. If a little boy comes running to you, asks for your help regarding the ball or a toy car, tell him that you last saw it in the elevator. Never ever tell him that you will go to investigate any source of the bloody screams that would ensure, even if they turned into pitiful cries for their parents. So it took me a while to really process this one. Weird and not very clear. Sounds like being a dick, but okay. Children are spawns of Satan after all, Anne said. What? Squinting in confusion. I was very confused at this. What? What were those words? I tried to dismiss it and clear my throat to read another one. Number 3. Visiting hours are until 10 p.m. If anyone drops by to insist beyond that, blood relative, politely tell them and send them off to the morgue. This gives you enough time to hide in any of the spare rooms before they come back. The beak holes on the door are there for a reason. For a reason. If you see the lights flickering on and off outside, it's safe to come out and carry on with your work. If you don't, we will be prepared to clean up the remains in the morning. And I don't think that's what you want us to be doing. If you see the person standing there still and staring outside, keep perfectly quiet and wait for them to disappear into the night, which should be in a few minutes. You don't want to find out what happens if you open the door and they're still standing there, for what comes out of them you have never seen before, and what they do to you we don't want to clean up, and the pain you feel you don't want to feel, I promise you, Anne said. So with that said, you shouldn't stay in any empty rooms for too long, or something else will be taking a peek at you. My heartbeat started picking up pace at the odd and very specific rule. I snapped my head towards Anne. All right, this is actually getting really creepy. Did you type all this? No, it's from management. What? Or at least I think it was. She pointed at the previous rule, clarifying, do take note, you'd have to try different rooms since some of them are locked. Just to be really quick. Wait, so you're telling me that you've been working all at this shift for all of these years, and you've been following this set of rules all this time? Her response was a strange, swift nod, with an even stranger answer. Yup. Who knows what would happen if I didn't? I remained quiet for a little while and thought about that. I wouldn't want to find out exactly what would happen myself. Nothing happened to me yet, and there's no problem in believing these, yeah? Dubiously, I continued on with the remaining set of rules. Number 4. Occasionally, doctors would also come and go. If one comes up to you and did the same thing, like ask for a dead patient, kindly repeat the steps in Rule 3. Tell them to go to the morgue immediately. But be careful, because they're faster and stronger than the actual doctors. So just stay alert. Number 5. Regarding the rules 3 and 4, the rooms would randomly be locked or unlocked. Best to choose the right one, but you won't know which the right one is until you try it. Anne smirked. Number 6. There is No janitor on this floor. So if one does appear, fret not. He's only there to clean up their remains. And he's the least thing you should worry about. I swallowed hard. I prepared myself for the last rule. The last one. And right before my eyes, the words in big, bold letters. Number 7 said, I'm just messing with you. Which relieved my heart a little bit, greeted me by surprise. What? Returning my attention to Anne, my dubious companion that was standing next to me, I was met by a grinning Anne. But her grinning was strange and odd. It didn't make any sense. She had her tongue hanging out of her mouth like a child. Inwardly sighing relief, although there was a growing, sickening fear slowly edging its way to the surfaces of my stomach. I frowned, almost furious at her. Are you serious? Ha ha, she said so blandly. You should have seen your face. Whatever. My ears were red with anger. I mustered the coldest glare I could. The only thing that saved her was the phone rang echoing through the halls. She didn't even go to answer it. Nobody did. She said, Nah, I got you. She giggled. Shut up. I returned Anne's mischievous look with a roll of my eyes, leaning against the counter with my back facing her, talking about almost anything except for how stupid and childish she made me feel. What a dumb prank. Oh, I was gonna get her back. Just wait and see. She'll see. Nobody messes with me. But first, she was going to get my infamous silent treatment for scaring the shit out of me. Hello. Good evening. Third floor branch, how can I assist you? The familiar voice on the phone. As well as the words that came out of her mouth were enough to freeze me there in my spot. My blood suddenly turned to ice, and my face turned white as a ghost. Where the hell are you, and what do you mean by third floor? I told you to stay in the lobby. I had to call every floor to find you. It's bad enough that I don't have your mobile number. The sudden jump of their words created a lump in my throat that was unbearable. I couldn't cry, I couldn't scream, especially when the peculiarity of my situation slowly dawned to me, but still I had to make sure. Reluctantly, I asked with a stutter, who the fuck is this? I needed confirmation, no matter how obvious. you doing answering from the 13th floor? That area is off limits. It's off limits. What? Tightening my grasp on the phone as if it was some sort of lifeline, I could feel sheer terror instantly paralyze every inch of my body that I couldn't help but release a shaky breath. Out of instinct, I flipped the paper over, my eyes suddenly fixating at the bottom part. I finally noticed something, that there was added to my increasing fear and my increasing rage. The original number 7 was smudged, as if someone tried to erase the whole rule but decided against it at the last minute. Number 7. Stay vigil. Anne, quote unquote, tends to imitate, well, you know, our conversation. They are harmless. You know nothing. But if they find out that you do, run. Were the readable words. Too preoccupied with dread, I failed to notice the dark shadow looming over me, coming up behind me to swallow what was left of my shift. Have a great rest of your morning. I'm gonna try to get some sleep now that I've truly scared the crap out of myself here in my room. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you do like this channel, please like and subscribe. It does wonders for the channel. It really, really does. And I love doing these scary stories. I always love your comments. I try to respond back immediately. Please be safe. And good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. And be careful for what goes bump in the night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining my channel or returning to my channel. Please like and subscribe and comment. It does wonders for the channel. And to beat the YouTube algorithm, please, I appreciate it. Have a great evening.